What's up guys? Okay, how did you do last week? Are there any workouts that you did that you are particularly proud of? How far did you run last week? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Let me know in the comments below. I really like to celebrate you and everything that you do as far as you're running. These videos, these kind of Monday morning looking back at the week of my training, they're just kind of out here to encourage you to do the same, to let me know about your training. I know a lot of you raced last week and a couple of you did some pretty fantastic things. I know that Chris, that running guy, Dan Runs and Ben Notley, they all did a 50k fun run in order to raise money for charity. Dan and Ben were raising money for Oddballs. Chris was raising money for Breast Cancer Now, and they absolutely smashed it. I will link to all three of their channels in the show notes below. Make sure you go and check them out. At the time of me filming this, they haven't actually put a video out yet, but I know that they are coming soon. Either way, three great channels, go check them out. Okay, remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about Strava bots? Well, after I made that video, I got just inundated with all of you saying, yeah, Strava bots are annoying. Then they seem to disappear. But then they seem to come back and now they have disappeared again. Let me know if you have experienced the same thing. I am looking at Strava right now and I don't have any bots liking any of my activities, which is a good thing. Another thing I was interested after seeing an article in Canadian Running, and I will link to this article in the show notes below too, just so you can go and take a read. But this article was talking about people that cheat on Strava and they get found out because of the elapsed time feature. So basically it's talking about going for a race and then you're racing, but then you stop your watch and maybe you take a breather and then you start it again and you continue the race. Ultimately making your elapsed time longer than the actual time that you were running. So basically it would be like me going out and running an interval session where I'm stopping my watch at the end of each interval, resting for a couple of minutes, recovering, then doing another interval, running a total of 5k, and then claiming that I ran a 5k in some ridiculously fast time for me that I couldn't ordinarily do if I was running a 5k in one go. Now, I know that none of you watching this would ever do that, but this article in Canadian Running does mention a couple of prominent people that have done it. We have a football player with Chelsea who did it, and then a British pro cyclist apparently ran a 13:25, which is 5 seconds quicker than Mo Farah. So even on the surface, highly unlikely. So I guess where I'm going with this, when I'm out for my normal runs, when I'm not competing, I'm just going out for a run for the fun of it, I do stop my watch. I stop my watch when I'm messing around with the camera, I stop my watch when I go to the loo. If I'm crossing a road and there's a lot of traffic coming and it's gonna hold me up for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds, I will stop my watch. And then as soon as I start running again, I go and start it and continue on my run. So I noticed that on some of my runs, I can be 10 minutes over. My elapsed time is 10 minutes greater than my actual run time. Of course, I would never do this in a race. That's absurd. But I want to know about you guys. Do you do the same thing, or do you just let your watch run throughout your entire run? Whether you stop to go to the loo, stop because of traffic, stop for whatever. Just to be clear, I am not one of those people that runs on the spot while they're waiting. I will come up to a road, stop running, I will stop my watch, and then I'll start again when I start going. Seems like pretty normal. But what's normal to me may not be normal to you. Let me know in the comments. This week, I had a pretty good week. This was one of my higher weeks of running. I ran 71.8 miles. Did have a couple of days off this week. That way I was able to log some slightly longer runs in the morning. That's how I get that mileage up. And at least for me, I had a pretty good cross-section of workouts this week. And I'm feeling it. I actually ran less today, the last day of this week, than I normally would when I'm off on a Sunday. And that's because I'm feeling a little bit of accumulated fatigue. Started off on Monday with 8.2 miles with a fast finish. Basically, I was taking it easy and then I picked it up for the last couple miles just to get those legs turning over. And I tell you, this is one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes when you run easy too much, you start to feel a bit blur, you know what I mean? And just by picking it up for a short bit at the end can really make you feel good for the rest of the day. And obviously if you've been following along for the last couple of weeks, I've been saying that I need to get more speed in my legs, I need to get more turnover, and that was just a good way for me to include that in a somewhat easy day. Tuesday was totally cruisy, but a longer run, 15.1 miles. Wednesday was 7.3 miles, Thursday 7.5 miles. Now on this run, I did include some pickups to threshold pace, and I did 3 minutes with 1 minute off. Now, listen, I know a lot of you see a lot of people out there crushing these incredible workouts. I feel like I'm kind of taking baby steps, moving into getting a bit of speed again because it's been so long since I've incorporated that. And this session of 6 times 3 minutes actually made me feel pretty good. And again, just picking up that pace a little made me feel good for the rest of the day, and I was really happy with this workout. Friday was a nice and easy 11 miles. Saturday's when I started feeling the accumulated fatigue this week. Ran 13.2 miles. I actually had a really good run just because there was no expectations, just to go out there, run, keep my heart rate down and just enjoy it for what it is. Of course, I was off that day, so I was able to run when the sun was up, so I brought the camera, got some good running footage for those Instagram reels that I've been posting 4 or 5 times a week. And the last day of the week, Sunday, I really wasn't feeling like doing too much today, at least as far as volume goes, as far as distance. So I did only run 8 miles, which is about 12.9 kilometers. And I did threw in some intervals. I did 9 quarter-mile intervals with a quarter-mile recovery after that. And I actually felt pretty good doing it. Not when I was doing it. On the recoveries, I felt good. Let me be clear. Intervals are no fun at all. Look at me. Look at the state of me. You might not think that it's very cold out, but this is one of the coldest days. Probably the last cold day that we're going to have until next winter. So next November, December. This is probably one of the coldest days. 56 degrees Fahrenheit or 13.33 Celsius. And I'm still sweating like a barnyard animal. The difference between now and in the summer, this is after 8 miles of running. I would be completely soaked in the first quarter mile in summer, and I'd be able to wring out my shoes. My shoes are totally dry. So this is actually very comfortable, despite how I look. That was all my running for the week, but I also rode 178.75 miles on the Peloton. Let me tell you, I have been having the hardest time getting a pair of those Nike Next Percent 2s. They came out at the end of last month. At least here in the United States, we have a big problem with bots going in and just grabbing all the new shoes and then reselling them at a ridiculously high price. So I have spent every day for the last week, I have been checking for those Nike Next Percent 2s, and I've still been unable to get them. I see loads of people all over the world posting their reviews on these shoes, and for some reason they are eluding me. I also bought a pair of Puma DV8 Nitros. Give those shoes a go. They've been getting some good reviews and I'm interested. I think they're going to fit right into exactly what I like to use my shoes for. I'm hoping they're going to be like a carbon plated daily trainer that excels when you pick up the pace a little bit. So stay tuned for that. I think with COVID and with the holiday this weekend, I think FedEx is really struggling with their deliveries. I've been on my phone checking the delivery updates for the last week, and those shoes were supposed to be delivered on April 28th. This video is dropping on April 5th, and I still haven't received those shoes. Come on, FedEx, get it together. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for staying all the way to the end of this video. I do have a video coming out in a couple of days. I post at least new videos twice a week, though it seems like it's been 3 times a week recently. Let me know what you guys did last week. Let me know if you have any plans for the upcoming week. Be kind, be happy, run well. Give this video a like if you're still here. See you in a couple of days.